All right. Snailmate was great.
Snailmate was great.
Great performance, great interview. And now, fresh off the stage, Devilz Playground.
What's up?
If you're wondering what's up with Taylor Swift, one of the people that were here doing the podcast earlier, it was her birthday, so we got her like this rainbow cake, and we had those little Taylor Swift things. She was like a super fan.
Hell yeah.
That's what it is. She's a Swiftie.
Nice.
She's a Swiftie.
And nobody was eating the cupcakes.
Really?
They sat here for hours. No one would touch them.
I finally busted into them. I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, so,
I had to have one.
Yeah, we're like, screw it. Because the cake did look pretty badass. But
it's almost like you didn't want to mess it up, so because it was so cute. Yeah.
I already ate it.
Yeah.
They felt bad to eat it.
I did, but the cupcakes were delicious. So shout out to whoever made them, whatever bakery they came from. They were fantastic.
dude, that was just Wal Mart.
Shout out Walmart.
Oh my gosh! Well, there you go.
I tried to go with Gideon and the Bearded Baker, but they're too busy.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I was just like, all right.
They were good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dang, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's cute.
So, where you from?
From Phoenix.
From Phoenix. All right.
Right. My hometown.
And what brought you up here? I mean, we know why you're here, but why did you decide to choose this to play up here?
So I've done, I think it was Rainbow Fest not too long ago, and I was going to be here anyways with Taylor Renee because we have a song together, and she was going to kind of add me to her set in a sense, and I was thinking, well, I'm already here, so I might as well talk to whoever's putting this thing on and see if I can just get on my own set.
Okay. How long have you been doing this?
Right now it's been close to 3 years.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
You guys sound like you've been doing it for a long time. Sound like pros.
Yeah.
Oh, really? What were your influences?
Music-wise, honestly, I grew up on like Joni Mitchell type of music from my mom, and a lot of classic rock. So, in a sense, honestly, like a lot of lyrically based music. Regardless if it was whatever the instruments were playing, it was lyrical. It was meaningful. So, I decided to start writing music after my father passed. I started writing. I wouldn't say music at that point. I was kind of like writing in a sense like a poetry, just to relieve, I guess, my stress and anxieties from that. And then I had lived out in Kansas City for a while, and when I came back, a mutual friend of mine was doing music, and I kind of like jumped on one of her songs, and then I was kind of like co-hosting this podcast. And then after that, I decided, you know what, I have a lot to say, so I started recording, and I met Melina, and we have a lot of songs together. And
wow. We actually met through the podcast, and she was interviewing me. I mean, that's how we met.
So did you realize you had this talent before that? Or was it just like, you just, hey, let me try this, and oh, wow, I'm pretty good at this?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I really just didn't really care about that part of it. My part was I knew I had something to say, and that a lot of people could relate to what I was saying.
Right.
So I think that's what pretty much challenged me in a sense to take it on and be like, you know what, I'm not afraid of anybody, so I'll get on a stage and I won't care if I'm performing for 2 people or 2,000 people. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I have no fear when it comes to that. But I realized,
awesome.
Thanks, but I realized I have something to say, and maybe I can help somebody. One person, that's all that would matter. Like, if it's one person, I can help.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that we touched base on over the course of this week was one thing. When I started this podcast, I really wanted to focus on mental health issues and stuff like that. And there's nothing more like healing, other than go to therapy, go to therapy and all that. And there's nothing wrong. And I think that music really helps that Like, no matter what your mood you're in. Hey, if you want to feel down, you know what song to put on. If you want to make yourself feel better, you know what song to put on. If you want to be angry, hey, play that song. And it just, for me at least, it just really does something. So I really admire musicians like yourself who now got rid of that stigma, like it's okay to talk about it. You know, and this T-shirt I'm wearing is Imperfectly Perfect, but that's the Scars Foundation, which was started by Sully Erner of Godsmack about 5 years ago. And you would think that Godsmack, they want to be tough, tough guy. I've met him. He's a little short, 5'4" guy. Big as he looks, like 6'4" on stage. Looked like a tough guy, but he was one of the first ones to come out and say, no, it's okay. It's okay to be struggling with this. I struggle with this. Or like Imagine Dragons is also another one that does a lot of that. And that's where I was focused in on your music video. What was the music video that addressed the issue of mental health?
Oh yeah, I have a suicide awareness song, Goodbye. And as a matter of fact, I think that song has close to 90,000 streams alone on Spotify.
Really? Wow.
And the wildest thing about how I ended up writing the song was, do you mind if I speak on it? So me and Melina, she's like my soul music person, right? And now my wife has been involved in with the soul music. So I got two soulmates over here with the music. But Melina, we all suffer from mental health issues. I don't care what anybody says. A lot of people won't admit it, but every human being, because we all have a story to tell. We've all had issues with family stuff in our past. No family unit is perfect, so we all have something. So Melina, she ended up going AWOL. She was very suicidal. She ended up going AWOL for 2 days? She disappeared. 3 days. No one could get a hold of her. She had called me a few times and it was like a bad connection. And I literally panicked. I was freaking out. So that's how I ended up writing that song, Goodbye. And thank God she's still with us. But
yeah, I know. I'm glad you're here.
And that song helped me a lot too. Every time I feel any kind of way, I just put it on. And I'm like, all right, stop,
Yeah.
So music does help. Music to me, heals my soul. It sets me free.
Yeah, and there's so many talented people that we've lost.
Yeah.
Chester Bennington's, Chris Cornell, Amy Winehouse.
Kurt Cobain.
Oh my God. Whitney Houston too.
Yeah.
I mean, Chester Bennington for me was a really tough one. It took me days to get over that one. Yeah. I just went home that day and I just put on Linkin Park on a loop for 6 hours.
Or something,
And I guess sometimes you don't think about it when you're listening to these songs, but you don't realize how tortured he was and that scream for help that he had in his music. But you were thinking, all right, the guy's talented and stuff like that, and you didn't expect that from him. So what's the biggest crowd you've played for?
Probably,
Tucson Pride?
Tucson Pride. Probably was the biggest crowd. Yeah. Tucson Pride. Biggest crowd.
That's got to be a good
Pride.
turnout too, with a city like Tucson.
Oh yeah.
It was a nice crowd.
It was huge. It was a good time. And we actually got to perform Goodbye at Tucson Pride because I felt like it was appropriate to do that song then because it was a nighttime show. So everybody had, I think you guys seen the video, everyone had their cell phones out. And I think even though it was also kid friendly, I feel like there wasn't as many young kids. So I felt like, okay, I think this is appropriate to do this. And so we just went for it.
Well, I know my kids suffer from, depression and anxiety and stuff like that, and I encourage them to listen. Like, their first concert was Imagine Dragons.
Oh, wow.
And Dan Reynolds has that really positive message, hey, you all matter. Talking to someone, is okay.
Definitely. Yeah, like in that song Goodbye, even I think at the end on my outro I talk about the 988 hotline.
988
for if anyone needs
You
to
don't
call
have no
it.
one to talk to. 988. Someone to pick up.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where can people find your music?
Everywhere, any major platform like Spotify, Apple. I think there's this one called Boomerang or something. Like
all music platforms.
Yeah,
She's
like
a Devilz
literally
Playground with a Z.
every single platform because Empire distributes my music, so they literally have it on all these things I haven't even heard of. I'm like, I've never heard of like the Boom Bap or something. I'm like, never heard of that one, but like if you
But
see
it's
my
on
link,
there.
it's on there. Like, okay, like cool.
Right?
How
often do you do shows? Do you ever get up here to do shows?
I try to do shows as much as possible. Like we went. When did we go to Kansas?
We went last year.
Yeah.
What month was it? Diana, we went to Kansas.
Yeah, we were last year in Kansas doing a show. So literally, I'm all about shows. Like if someone wants to book me, I'm like, all right, let me fill this in, and I'm ready. I love to do the Pride shows the most, though, just because being part of the community for one, and for two, that's where I feel like the kids and the teenagers really need positive role models because they're the ones that struggle the most with the mental health because a lot of family members shame them for being who they are. Trust me, I went through that when I was younger. Like they thought I would eventually grow out of it, and I feel like my family didn't even like me until they met Diana. Then they're like, we got married, and they're like, oh, I guess, okay. I guess she really is a lesbian all the way. Lesbian all the way, right?
Lesbian all the way. They accepted her.
Finally, I'm like, oh wow, it took that. It took her. Well, I was like thinking, was I just not picking the right women so you weren't taking me serious, or what was it?
That's so funny.
Like literally.
Well, I mean, it's really important, particularly in this area, if you know what the demographic of politics is. And, you know, we had the I Love Jesus Festival over here.
Yeah, we saw that.
And I mean, they were okay. They didn't cause any trouble and stuff like that. You know, but they were only there because we were here.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know,
the only reason why.
I was like, why wouldn't you choose like the Saturday before Easter to do this festival? You know, that would make more sense. You know?
The saddest thing to me is certain religions. It's like if they were to really look at the book, the Bible, and realize that when you're judging other people, you're committing a sin right there. So it's like I know a church, my friend actually just invited me to it. I think it's in Mesa, and she was explaining how they welcome everybody. They don't care. They're very welcoming, and that's how it should be. But luckily, their signs were just about like, we love Jesus. So I actually thought, wow, it wasn't too bad, because I've actually seen, I don't know if you guys remember Fred Phelps and his church in Kansas.
The Baptist one.
I've seen and they would picket military funerals, prides, everything you can think of them with the most disgusting signs that they made. And I'm like, you guys are saying you're worried about Baptist. Children and gays and children, but you guys are having these signs that are like terrible. Like, come on.
All full of hate.
Well, we're both from Boston, so you know how we know about that whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on.
Well, that's the Catholic Church.
What was the
predominantly?
What was the sign that you did? I mean, Snow went over and counter-posted.
Oh, I did 2 scripture signs. A scripture message on each side, because I decided to go over there, and I was like,
do it too. I'd be over there too.
Well, and she had like a little wagon, you know, because what's that saying?
Yes. So I protested over there, and they did not. They were cheering. I don't think they even opened their good books sometimes.
It's a great sign.
So
I love it.
Even cited where I got this one too.
Yeah, and even had like a little container of stones. So you know that.
Yeah, I have a bucket of rocks, and I said, "Here's a stone. Like he who is without sin, please cast it."
Yeah, so they'll walk around. Anybody want a stone? Anybody want a stone?
Yeah, nobody wanted a stone.
I was just
nobody accepted it.
I'm tired of them picking on my friends. I'm like, I'm not even. I'm a straight person.
Me too.
But these are my friends.
Yes.
Yeah. So leave them alone, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I am. Like sometimes I forget I'll be going with my girls to the broad at lesbian club. I'm all dancing. I'm like, oops, I forgot I'm straight. But everyone's so cool, you know. It doesn't matter.
I
We're all
know.
human.
I just like how accepting.
Yes,
and I like
they
how
don't
you're
judge
allowed
me.
to be yourself.
Yes.
I like people who are
Yeah,
unapologetically themselves.
That's what I tell my brother, because my brother's like, where you go to this gay club, man? I'm like, because I go with my hair messed up or clothes that don't fit. They don't care. They don't care. They're just so nice.
Melina
do
has
not care.
probably performed now at more Pride events than any other straight person I know. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yay!
Oh, yeah, I support
What's your turnaround like going back to Phoenix tonight?
Yeah, I think it's only 3 hours.
The drive?
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I didn't know they had a table stop, or what was it? Is it a table stop?
Oh yeah,
They literally have a stop with just a table.
because it says table stop,
just
so
sit
we
there
pulled
real
over,
quick.
right?
No
I'm thinking
bathroom,
maybe
no,
they'd have a
just a
bathroom,
table.
but
Like, what the-
they literally mean it's
Stop
a
at
table
this
stop. It's like a covered picnic bench, and there was these truck drivers
It's
that were
really a
parked
table
next to it,
stop.
and she gets over there by their windows right there, and I think they thought she was a lot lizard.
Like, what the hell?
And then she goes over,
no.
and then she goes over there with her, and they're both staring at them too. And I was like,
They're
they
gonna
probably
go
think
to
I'm
the
the
table
pimp.
stop.
Because then they pulled next to them to get out, and they roll their window down like we're gonna make a
Because you have the
transaction.
chains too.
Yeah, we're like table
I should have been like, they're way too expensive for you guys. Sorry.
Don't stop at this
Way
table
too.
stop.
Can't afford these two.
Right? That's awesome.
You're gonna have a price. It's gonna be really pricey.
Your whole truck.
You're gonna pay.
Do you book your own shows?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, book Blackbridge Brewery down the street here.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
'cause
you totally should.
we would love, because we were doing this, so we didn't get to check out your whole set, but we would love to check out your set. And
Nice.
what's your socials?
So my Instagram is _Devilz with the Z, like zebra, _Playground. And then,
It's Melina MAD Mad Lyrics. Melina Mad Lyrics everywhere.
Okay.
And
You have-
it's mad because those are my initials. MAD.
Oh, cool.
Do you have a website?
A website? Do I have a website? You can Google me.
yeah, I have a link tree that has literally everything associated on my link tree.
I don't.
But as far as a website, I thought about doing it, but I thought with all the technology with the link trees and literally, like she said, Google, and
And we all come
once
out.
you start getting out there, and if you Google it, and it's like, I didn't even know my
yeah.
Google was so impressive until my sister was like, I Googled you, and
When
holy
I Googled
hell.
myself,
And I
I'm
was like, wow,
"What's-
that's
look at me, look at
awesome.
me." So,
I was like, I feel like I'm doing something here with my life with this
I didn't
Google.
know things that I didn't know were on there.
Yeah.
Were on there. I also sing in Spanish, so shout out to all the Spanish
Sorry.
singing communities out there.
Yeah.
My Spanish artists.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think it's impressive. Like on my podcast host site, you can look at where people are listening, and then you find out like, wow, people from all 50 states have
Right.
listened to this. 54 countries around the world, and you start to go, wow.
Like they
Yeah,
love me in
it's amazing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So
Where's
cool.
it? In Venezuela, shout out Venezuela. Like who knew they like me over there? Like.
We
Yeah,
had
how'd
we,
they even find out, you know?
we had
Like-
one from Russia. And we're like,
Yes.
who from Russia? And
Like,
how
we
is
made
how is
jokes,
our
we're like,
podcast
is it
even allowed to be
Putin?
heard here?
I know. We're like, there's no way Putin would allow it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, it's crazy because literally, like she's saying, a lot of actual artists have charted on foreign Apple charts. It's the weirdest thing, like India or something, and you're like, oh wow, I charted number 27 on my song in India. And
Yeah, we
you're
got
like,
we,
okay.
we got that. We hit a top 40 list in some Central American country I've never heard of. But I got that notification. Hey, you're in the top 40 of this. I'm like, wow.
Never imagined.
Yeah.
You're like, all right.
So I love technology because it's so different. Like there's downfalls of it. Like, back in the day, you'd sell your CD, you'd do a show and pop your trunk. Well, I got $10 CDs. That's how they would do it. Now it's like, I think, for example, 100,000 streams, you only get like maybe $400 on Spotify.
Really?
And like
Oh, wow.
that's the higher end, and then like 200 on the lower end, depending on if the person had Spotify Premium or not Spotify Premium. It's wild.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that's what hurts a lot of the younger bands is you can't make money at this anymore. And you know, you go to see a concert now, the tickets are so much money because they have to be.
Yep.
Because
Yeah, 'cause they have to.
Ticketmaster takes their cut and everything else. You know, and it's just nuts. And then even the merchandising, you know,
That's
the
high.
venue takes a cut of the merchandising. So I think a lot of younger bands, it's really hard to make it, which is a bad product of, you know, the Spotifys and such, you know, and also, you know, it doesn't help with social media and the hate that you see
Oh,
on
yeah,
social
it's
and the
terrible.
comments, and you
Yeah.
go, oh, come on, man.
Everyone hates on everybody. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, and it's just funny because as an artist, you'll be surprised that the hate will get you known out there, and now everybody knows you because you know someone hated on you. Like
Yeah.
that kind of happened to me
Like-
in a way.
Like a blessing.
Like-
all right, go all right, my haters. You know,
Yeah.
we take it as a badge of honor when we get haters. Like,
But it
yeah,
hurts
you
at
hate us, but
first.
you
It
still
hurts at
listen.
first.
It's true. I feel like
At first, you're like,
I
they
feel like
said
now,
that, and
yo.
then you got more followers. They're like, hey, say that.
Hey,
Go
whatever.
ahead, you know?
True. When
Yeah.
someone hates on you these days, you get more publicity.
You're,
Like,
you're,
It's
you're
like
helping their numbers.
you hate us because you ain't us.
Yeah.
That thing. Yeah.
Or then the people who are just really like out there with the music, and you're like, what did I just listen to? But then they're super popular because people are like Sexy Red, for example, and her very vulgar songs, and you're like, did she just really say that? And then it blows up because you're like, yep, she said that. And then everyone's talking about it. Oh my God, did you hear what she said in her song? It's kind of like when Cardi B did WAP, and everyone was like,
Oh, yeah.
flipped out, you know?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, I like it that they played the Grammys or something like that.
and they did
Yeah,
a show, they did
yeah,
a good job.
and I think Chris Rock was hosting, and Chris Rock said, if you have children, you may want to turn the TV off. But they didn't, and everybody's like, how dare they show this on... Chris Rock warned you.
Yeah.
You know?
He told you.
Yeah.
It's like, what's her name? The artist. She's the little skinny one with the short hair.
Becky G?
No, what's her name? I told you that she tells people don't bring my kids to the concert. Oh yeah, Doja Cat.
Doja
I respect Doja Cat because she tells parents like, yo, I talk about really bad things in my songs, like sexually. Why would you bring your kids here? You know,
Like,
and then
do
complain
not
about
bring
it.
your
kids.
Bring your kids if you're cool with it, but don't complain about it after. Because if you don't know my music, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah.
All right, well, we got to wrap this up because we've got the drag show. Got to go see Caroline Divine. Yeah,
Awesome.
we got to go
Thank
be
you so
the personal cheering section tonight.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, you know, thank you for coming
Yeah,
on. This
thank
was
you
this
for
was
coming
great.
and talking to us.
When we put this out, we'll tag you on social media and stuff
Awesome.
like that. And if you ever perform in Mohave County, we'll definitely come see you. I go to Phoenix and Vegas for shows too. So we'll follow
Yeah.
you, and we'll definitely come see you again. And if you want to do this again at some point, we'd love to have you back.
Awesome, appreciate it.
All right, so-
what was the name of that place again that you said?
Oh, Blackbridge
Blackbridge Brewery.
Blackbridge. Yeah, right here.
I'll send you a
All right,
message.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Meet you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Nice meeting
Thank
you.
you. It was so nice to
Nice
meet
meeting
you.
you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, the free
I'm
clothes.
so glad that you enjoyed them.
All right. Well, that was great.
Yeah.
So-
day one down.
Yeah. So day one is wrapped up, and we will continue this tomorrow. And I think these were some of the best episodes we've done yet.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. All right. We're going places.
Yeah.
All right.
To a drag show.
All right. We'll talk to
Bye,
y'all
y'all.
later. Bye.